So one of the most exciting announcements for me in 2025 was the unveiling of the Steam Machine, primarily because I'm not a PC gamer. I don't think I'm ever going to be a PC gamer, but there are facets of PC gaming that I do enjoy, but just for me personally, I prefer the console experience. Having something under your television, ease of use and stuff like that. But the Steam Machine kind of looked to be bridging the gap between your PC and your console experience. There are benefits to doing things on a PC when it comes to gaming, such as the Steam storefront offering a large variety of games, delisted games maybe on other platforms are available on there, and of course things like Steam sales, which are usually much better than what you see on the PlayStation Store or the Xbox Store and the Nintendo eShop. You can get some great games at really discounted prices. Of course, you have the ability to customize your experience as well by tinkering with settings, should you want to do that. So there are a lot of positives when it comes to this. But as time has gone on, I think the Steam Machine is facing more and more bumps in the road, and I don't see this getting better anytime soon. And now I'm kind of the mindset that the Steam Machine's not going to come out in the first half of 2026 like originally anticipated. And now I'm kind of the mindset that this might not even see a 2026 release at all. When you look at the accumulation of different things that are happening right now with the tech marketplace and things that are happening to Steam themselves, it's a very scary future. And it's not just going to impact Steam consoles, it's going to impact everything. But the Steam stuff is what we have tangible evidence of right now. So let's talk about this, because I could see this going south very, very quickly. I'm trying to hold on to hope, but hope is quickly dying. So obviously, the Steam Machine is not the first piece of hardware that Steam has released and Valve has released in the modern era. We had the Steam Deck. I own a Steam Deck. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. The battery on it sucks, but it's a cool piece of hardware that's been around for a very long time. It didn't exactly light the world on fire in terms of system sales or anything like that. It was a complimentary piece. If you wanted to play some PC games on the go, this was an option for you. Now, we never got sales figures or anything like that, but many people have it around 4 to 5 million sold, which, you know, for a Valve thing, like, that does seem kind of low, but it's a niche thing. Only available through the Steam storefront as well, with no physical presence in different storefronts and stuff like that. But if you go over to the Steam page now and you scroll down here, oh, I want to buy a Steam Deck. I want to buy the 256, which it looks like they have just completely gotten rid of that thing. Now there's only OLED models, which is 550 or 650 respectively here. One is a 512, one is a 1 terabyte, but I can't order. I can't order this. The Steam Deck OLED may be out of stock intermittently in some regions due to memory and storage shortages. Steam Deck LCD 256 is no longer in production, and once sold out, will no longer be available. Oh boy. So this is the one that I have, I think. I don't even know, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm pretty sure this is the one that I have. And it's a trusty device. You know, it works good. But you can't buy this anymore. They're not making it anymore. They're focusing on the OLEDs. But the OLEDs are out of stock in some regions due to memory and storage shortages. I am in the biggest region in the world when it comes to gaming stuff. Well, maybe aside from China, but we don't really have concrete numbers when it comes to stuff like that. Plus, it's kind of different over there. But in my region, the United States of America, I cannot buy a Steam Deck right now. Unless I want to go to a third-party marketplace, such as eBay. And if you look on places like eBay, you kind of look around to see what's going on there. People are asking, you know, twice the price $1,000 plus for a Steam Deck? That's not what this was supposed to be. This was supposed to be a something that people could have access to that was a cheaper alternative than buying a computer or something like that. But now the ball game has changed. And this is where things get very scary. Because once again, let's go back to the Steam Deck here. All right, these are the specs of the Steam Deck. Now, you know, this is not something that is exactly lighting the world on fire in terms of raw specs. The OLED thing is just, you know, a different screen on it. It's still using pretty much the same components as the original Steam Deck was. There's not an upgrade in terms of, you know, anything that is tangible when actually like playing the games. It still has the same internal hardware and stuff like that. So if that's the case, and we're struggling to have access to parts to make this, which is something that is weaker than a Steam machine. You see what I'm getting at here? Dude, this is a product that has existed for years. And for years, it has not been an issue to manufacture these. It has not been an issue to sell these. They have been readily available on Steam's website. It seemed like, if anything, there was a bit of an overstock of them. Now, with the technology boom, with, you know, storage and chipsets and stuff like that, now the complete narrative has shifted on the Steam Deck to where you cannot buy one directly from Steam anymore. And this is based on older technology. How the hell are they going to pull a rabbit out of a hat with the Steam machine and be able to have a supply of the Steam machine enough so to actually release the thing? Because you can go back to something we talked about like 2 weeks ago or so, where they did a blog post and they're like, well, we still don't have a price or release date for this, but we're still targeting. How can you target anything if yesterday's price is not today's price and today's price is not tomorrow's price? Things are changing at such a rapid rate that if Valve can't keep up with it to make, you know, Steam Decks, where's the confidence in that they'll be able to keep up with it for a Steam machine? It's either going to be that, or they're going to have to pay so much for the components of the Steam machine that the price of it is going to be ridiculous, even more than we are initially thinking when it comes to that. And that just doesn't sound like a recipe for success. Like, I get it. Valve isn't doing this to make a bunch of money. You know, obviously with the Steam Deck, it was more so just a convenience factor so that people who use Steam could have a device that they could play their Steam games on the go with. You know, you're still embedded to the Steam system. They're still making money. And, you know, the profits and stuff like that, the financial reports that we've seen clearly show that it is a working idea. But the hardware itself is just a catalyst to get people into Steam. But it was reasonably priced for the most part. It wasn't something that was, you know, ridiculously high in price. But things are creeping up. Companies are looking for ways to get more money out of people because now they're having to do things with hardware. And if they don't want to raise the price of the hardware, they have to raise the price of something else. They have to introduce some sort of monetary thing for people to be giving the company money so that they can avoid raising the price of it. Whether that's, you know, increasing a subscription service, increasing the price of games, increasing microtransactions in a game, increasing DLC in a game, whatever the case may be, you're always going to look for ways to make money if you don't want to raise the price of something. But going back to the Steam machine, the longer this thing takes, the more trouble it's in. Because we do know that, you know, new consoles are allegedly on the horizon, but we don't even know what's going on with that. It seems like things are getting delayed with that. It seems like everything is getting pushed back. And, this coming out, or supposed to be coming out at the time that it was slotted for, it seems like a horrible decision that's not necessarily Valve's fault. It's just circumstantial. Because as it stands now, I honestly don't think it's coming out this quarter. I think we can all kind of agree with that. Like, there's no price. There's no release date or release window beyond just the first half, I should say, of 2026. Maybe they get it out before the holiday, but every day this situation is getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm part of the problem. I like to put my friends in funny hats that have connotation attached to them because it makes me laugh, and then I send it to them, and I'm like, hey, I should post this on the internet because people are dumb, and they'll think you're actually wearing this hat with this bold statement on it. But I won't. For now, at least. Anyways, guys, those are my thoughts on this. I think this is painting a very ugly picture. I don't see this working out well. I don't see a world unless there is one thing. There is one more thing that I feel like I should mention. Unless they are somehow stopping production on the Steam Deck in order to help the Steam machine. So they're going to be using parts from the Steam Deck that can help the Steam machine out as far as memory and stuff is concerned. Maybe that's the idea here. Put the Steam Deck on the back burner. Put the Steam machine as the forefront of your development and what you're focusing in on for, making hardware and stuff like that. I guess that's something that could be happening, but we don't know. We don't know. All we know is that there's there's chip shortages and shortages of this, and there's going to be intermittent times, and it's just like, this happened a couple of days ago. This is not brand spanking new information. The Steam Deck has been sold out for a couple of days now, and I just kind of wanted to wait and see, is it just really a temporary thing, or is this something that is actually ongoing? And I mean, the proof is in the pudding at this point. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. If you are new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to like, comment, and share. Hit the bell as well. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.